Pigweed here. Today we review a lager and discuss the Mississippi Miracle. Well,
good evening, Pigweed. How's it going?
It's going pretty good.
How about some beer and conversation?
That sounds great. What are we drinking?
We're drinking a lager, a Helles lager.
Oh, well, that's a great.
All right, so what's on your mind?
Well, I'm a list guy.
Yeah?
I like when they do best of.
Oh, that kind of list.
Yes,
Yeah?
and often like rankings.
Yeah.
So when I see, the best state to retire in,
Yeah.
the state with the best weather,
Okay.
the state with, and there's a certain consistent pattern, and a certain people that tend to linger at the bottom.
Yes.
And there are so often poor, like you get if you're talking about 51 states, as in D.C.,
Yeah.
you get basically Alabama, Mississippi, and the District of Columbia.
At the bottom.
Yes. At the bottom.
Right.
But I am here with an announcement.
Okay.
That Mississippi has not only crawled out of the bottom.
Yeah.
It is in the top.
Okay.
Wait for it.
Yeah.
Reading.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good
But
for them.
What are we drinking?
Okay, so this is Sam Adams Harvest Helles.
Harvest Helles.
Yeah, and it's this is a funny word, Helles.
Yeah.
You might think it's Hells.
I sometimes say Helles.
Yeah, it's apparently it's Helles.
Okay.
And it's supposed to be a very balanced, slightly malty, not very hoppy, kind of a, very quenchable, thirst-quenching, drinkable beer. So what are you thinking?
I think it's really good. I'm not sure. From an ordinary German lager, what I know in a blind taste test,
right?
This is part of a style all its own.
Yeah, I'm not sure. There is an extra sort of floral hop thing going on a little bit. I'm tasting a little bit of a. It's not a hop bitterness, but there's a hop aroma going on that sort of surprises me.
I'll give you that. So if you put it next to a Czech Pils.
Exactly, a Czech Pilsner. This one, there's something else going on there.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, but anyway, it's good. I mean, Sam Adams, they do a good job. It's one of those breweries that you can pretty much rely on.
Yeah.
They're going to go right down the middle of the style, and
they're
they're going to do it
too fancy. Right. They're going to let you know what the style, is supposed to taste like, and.
Right. And some people criticize them for that. Some people think it's boring, and I just think it's reliable.
Yes. I think it gives us all our baseline.
Yeah.
And you guys want to put peach flavors in, that's fine.
You want to do all that crazy stuff? Fine. Put pineapple on your pizza and all that stuff. Okay. But Sam Adams is going to go right down the middle and show you what the style is supposed to taste like. All right, so education.
So, like I said, Mississippi was not long ago 49th in fourth grade reading results.
Okay.
And like I said, when you look at these lists, it's not uncommon to see that. This is about a decade ago.
Okay.
Now, this is through the pandemic where everybody said that all the kids' scores took a nosedive.
Yeah.
In 2024, they're 9th.
Wow. That's a big change.
I mean, what?
Now, did everybody else go down and they stayed even, or did they actually go up?
Well, no, there's a little bit of both, but you could see. Gosh, I didn't print the one out that had Mississippi had the highest range. Did I send you that one?
Yeah.
And then on the far right was who?
Somebody who went down low. I think it was Maryland.
Yeah, it was Maryland. Had the largest decline of everybody.
Gosh, our state is awful.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
I'm not here to beat up on our state. I do that enough in my own time.
Yes.
So fourth grade is like that time.
Yeah.
Where
but you should be reading. You should be reading by fourth grade. Right. Yeah. I mean, you should be reading before you go to school, honestly. But by fourth grade, obviously.
But definitely by third grade, and then you get measured in fourth grade.
Right.
And so. Everybody wants to know. I mean, did they come up with some new way that nobody's ever heard of?
New reading method.
New reading method. It's called. Let's say what it's not called. What was about 20
whole language? It's not called that.
Yes. So Yes, like you said, my kids were reading before school. I had Cat in the Hat.
Yeah.
And we had the what did you say, the magnet?
The magnet letters on the refrigerator. I mean,
So
come
I'm
on.
sitting
If
there
you're a
with
parent, get the magnet letters for heaven's sakes.
And I'm just going, t.
Right.
What is that? What together? You just push them all together. Push them all together, little Johnny. Cat. You're reading, Johnny. You're reading. And he's like, yeah, Miss
And the kid is like, so you're sitting there reading a book to your child, right? And the child looks at this page with all these strange symbols, and the child has got to be thinking, "What the heck are you doing? Like, where is this coming from?" And they're curious.
But they love the idea that they can see you looking at the page.
Yeah.
And somehow these hieroglyphics are turning into words,
Yes.
and so they're fascinated about the whole
Exactly.
thing.
What is going on there? And so read to your kids, get the magnets and put them on your refrigerator.
Right. So then after you do the cat, you remove the k and you put in the f.
Yeah.
And then there's an f. That
we
makes
can't.
a
No,
f.
we can't say that word.
You say, well, weight disadvantaged or something. So then they go. All right, now put that together. Well, I mean, I don't know any other way that you could possibly teach a kid to read.
Yeah.
However,
They came up
geniuses
with one. Yes.
found a new way that said
experts.
that no, the f and the that is not the way to teach. And they decided to do what?
The geniuses came up with whole language, and it's the same thing with reading and with the new math and with a bunch of other changes in education.
They came about the same time. It's like 2010-ish.
Yes.
Is that right?
And what they all assumed was they looked at people who were proficient at something. You know, someone who's proficient at music, someone who's proficient at reading, someone who's proficient at math.
Yeah.
And they looked at what they did, the processes that went on in their mind. And they said, well, that's what we should be teaching kids. You know, when you read a book, you don't sound out every letter, you know? Yeah, you look...
Me all day.
You just kind of glance past the words and they go into your brain, you know? Because, well...
You absorb their whole thing.
Yes.
Whole language-y.
And sometimes even whole phrases. I mean, you don't even read each word.
No,
you just kind of go past it and they just all go into your brain. So what they assumed was that the way the experts, the people who are proficient at something did it, well, that's the way we should teach it. That's the way people learn.
I see. So all right, I never even understood the philosophy behind. So at least that's the thinking.
That's the thinking.
Okay.
The bad thinking and it came out of romanticism, constructivism, and just the reaction to rote memorization. You know, because schools used to be everybody sitting in class going, 2 + 2 is 4, 4 + 4 is 8. You know, going through tables and reciting things.
Yeah. And then you'd have two teams who would race up and see who could get 8 times 7. You know what I mean? It was like,
yeah, and you don't. What they didn't understand is that. Okay, so here's an example. You know that Mrs. Crowhill and I are doing a lot of dancing. Well, in order to dance, first you got to learn the steps, you know? Okay. Now, once you're a good dancer, you pay no attention to the steps.
Whole dancing.
Yeah, there you go, right. You're not thinking, okay, these are the steps in this dance. You're just dancing, right? Or a musician. Once you're a good jazz musician, you're not like going...
You're going beef.
You're not doing that.
No.
But in order to get to that stage, you have to have first learned the steps, learned the scales, learned the circle of fifths, learned, all these different kind of things.
So the thing, so the thinking is, you just apply that to the learning?
Yes.
Rather than assume that this comes with the after learning.
Yes. So
I know
it's stupid. It's really stupid. I mean, if you have to start with foundational things, and you learn the foundational things, and you build on those, and you build proficiency, and then you get to the point where the foundational things aren't as necessary anymore. And
you learn the Taj Mahal before you learn bricklaying.
Yeah. So the reason someone can think rapidly is because they don't have to stop and think, gee, what is 7 times 8? It's just right there in your brain, because you had to be drilled in that and you learned it.
Yeah.
And you don't have to think, what does CAT mean? It's just already there in your brain. And so they tried to bypass that and think, oh, we're gonna teach people to read based on the way advanced readers read, which is just stupid. But they were experts.
Let's see if this applies here. Now you've got me thinking, because I'm thinking about speaking Spanish. For me, I know I learned all of the rules of grammar.
Yeah.
And they're very complicated, and little by little you are translating. You think about what you're going to say, you translate it into Spanish, and then you say it.
Yeah.
And then little by little, that time shortens.
Yes. And you're no longer translating. You start to think in Spanish.
And you start, yes, but I still apply the rules in a way that Mrs. Pigweed does not. Of
course.
Because she
grew
learned
up
it
with
basically. No, I mean the other way around. She did not learn the rules of English.
Yes.
She learned a whole language version. She learned by being here and hearing and what makes the most sense.
Yes.
And what the thing, what makes the most sense. The thing that I've heard most often is the thing that I should probably say.
Yeah.
And so that would I think that would be their argument.
Yes.
Right? That they would say a non-language speaker's approach. Well, then what would you do if you went to school? You would just sit in a room and hear other language speakers and then absorb it all. It kind of worked for her that way, but she lived in an English-speaking household, and you know what I'm saying? It's almost an argument in their favor.
Yeah.
But not really.
Yeah. So two things come to mind about that. A lot of people will appeal to children don't learn languages by learning rules of grammar. They just listen to the language and eventually they somehow figure it all out. And it's just like they kind of feel their way through. So you know this doesn't sound right, but you don't know why it doesn't sound right. You just know it doesn't sound right because your brain has got this process. So I think there's two important distinctions going on here. One is the way a child learns something versus the way an adult learns something.
Yeah.
And the second difference is between something that is more natural and part of our, like language. We've been speaking for what, 200,000 years? Who knows how? We have no idea how long we've been speaking, right? Reading is not the same.
No.
Math is not the same.
Right.
So we have processes in our brains.
That's very good. Go ahead.
We have processes in our brains for language that we don't have for reading and math. So trying to apply, okay, this is the way we learn languages, therefore that's the way we should learn to read and do math. That's just like fundamentally stupid.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense. But then also, children have the ability to pick up things that, like, I don't think that you're going to learn Spanish by watching Telemundo for 24 hours a day.
Right.
You know, I mean, maybe you will, but probably not. Where a kid around in a house, well, of course, kids aren't just watching that either. They're watching the actions that are associated with it.
And the facial expressions.
Exactly.
And everything that goes along with it.
Angry and that word goes together. Yeah.
Yes. So this article here from the New York Post, says he hates the idea of the Mississippi Miracle because there's nothing miraculous about this. The state adopts phonics that set high standards for kids getting better results in reading instruction, and so we're doing phonics, and if you can't read in the third grade, you repeat the third grade,
right, with
heavy tutor instruction over the summer of that third grade.
Wow.
So that, you know what, if you can finish out the summer and reach that level, then yes, you can go on to the 4th grade. If not, you repeat the 3rd grade.
You do 3rd grade again. What's wrong with that?
What?
Standards.
Wait a minute. So standards, accountability,
Yeah.
in phonics.
Yeah.
Miracle. I mean, it's like pixie dust just came down and changed.
It's a miracle. Yeah.
It's a miracle.
So
yeah,
when-
he hated the idea of miracle.
When we decided to homeschool our kids, this was back in the late 80s. There was the question of what, this was during a time in the middle of all this whole language and all this other kind of nonsense. And that was 1980s, by the way, people. Yeah. We're trying to figure out what we're going to do with our kids. And among the homeschool community, there was just no question that phonics was the better way to do things.
Okay.
And so this is part of the reason why homeschooled kids outperform public school kids in a lot of ways, because we were using the tried and true methods that had been working for hundreds of years. Yeah, phonics works, and this whole language stuff is just stupid and was based on faulty assumptions and doesn't work. So yeah, I think that argument is right. Don't call it a miracle.
Yeah.
Don't call it a miracle when you're prudent and save your money, and then you have you're well off financially. That's not a miracle.
Yes, right. A positive outcome resulting from tried and true methods.
Yes.
Whoa.
That's not a miracle.
Yes, well, I just congratulate old Mississippi and
Yes.
apparently Alabama, and has bought into the system, and that's the beauty of the of the 50 test. What do they call it? What do they call it? 50
yeah,
crucibles or something, petri dishes.
Something of democracy. Yeah, test kitchens. There's a better word that gets used. We have 50 experiments going on.
Right,
Yeah.
and then other people are now. The problem would be if you had some massive federal oversight that gets in the way
Yeah.
of having the individual experiments
Yeah.
going on, and everybody looking around going, wow, whatever's going on over in that state, we got to
Yeah.
find out what that is. And the federal government is going, don't look behind the curtain.
You have to do what we tell you to do. And the truth of the matter is, since the Department of Education was founded...
This is where I'm going. Go.
Yeah, since
Go.
the Department of Education, everything has gone downhill since then.
So,
What is the point of the Department of Education? It was supposed to... the idea was, we're falling behind in reading, math, and science.
We're not first anymore. We're fourth.
Yeah.
And then we get Department of Education.
And now we're like 29th or something.
Now we're 29th.
Yeah.
And we're going, we need to give more money and power to the
That's
thing.
right. Just abolish the stupid Department of Education.
I have no problem with that.
Yes. Why do we need one? First of all, it's not in the Constitution, so legally it should not exist.
Right.
The federal government has no business in education. Second, it's an abject failure.
Yeah.
Demonstrable failure. And it's like, why would we even bother with it?
So
Mississippi has proved they can figure things out.
Yes, and all it's going to do is get in the way of other states
Yeah.
adopting, the Mississippi model. So
Yeah.
what if so I'm at the widget factory,
Yeah.
and I'm going, I think that we can improve on. I think the delivering our widgets is too expensive and too inefficient. So we're going to start a new department
Yeah.
to address that. And then a year later, you realize that it's gotten worse.
Yeah.
How long would this go on before the private company said, all right, well, that didn't work?
Not very long.
Not very long. You just go, okay, well...
Or they go out of business.
No, but what they would do is they would say, yes, that's true, but we need more employees and more money. And the
Double
people,
down.
and the widget company's going to go, well, how about we just go back to what we were doing before and then tweak around the edges to where we can clean things up?
Right.
But government works the opposite way.
That's right.
And so now it just gets fatter and fatter and gets worse and worse results, ultimately just benefiting teachers' unions who
Yeah.
kick back money to politicians.
Yeah.
Well, it's okay. It might have seemed like a good idea, but I'm sure we could have an independent organization that could coordinate between states, or you just let states figure it out on their own. If North Dakota wants to go see what Mississippi is doing, Do they need a federal mediator to make sure that those two can have a conference somewhere?
Certainly not the one that we have.
I think they can figure it out.
Well, the same argument can be made about the United Nations.
Yeah.
You know, Trump has won more peace in the last 9 months than the United Nations has ever done.
Ever.
So, like, you don't need the United Nations to do this, and you don't need the Department of Education. Sometimes the big bureaucracy is not the answer. As a matter of fact, often the big bureaucracy is not the answer. So I was thinking about Malcolm Gladwell, I think, is the guy who came up with the 1,000-hour rule.
Oh.
Have you heard about this?
No, but I do like
the idea is that if you want to be really good at something, you need to do it for 1,000 hours.
Okay.
And one of the examples he uses is
juggling.
Yeah.
Well, community, right?
Sure, yeah. If you want to be really good at it, you got to do it a lot. And one example he uses is the Beatles, who supposedly went and like played in German nightclubs for several years, and they just kind of worked on their craft, and they saw what people responded to, and they got to know each other, and they got to get the sound together. Anyway, you practice and you practice and you practice, and you get to the point where you're good at it, as long as you have the right kind of feedback and everything else. So a lot of these things, about reading or math, or it's just a matter of practicing the fundamentals. Or if you're going to be, how many times have you watched a football game and said, it's blocking and tackling, guys? You know?
Yeah.
Or like, that's not the way you tackle somebody. Or when there's a ball on the ground, you fall on it. Don't try to pick it up.
But
basic things.
You bring a new coach, because I have a thing called new tackling.
Right.
We're going to tackle feet first.
Yes. Yeah.
No. Well, no, I've done a lot of simulations.
And I have a degree. I have a degree from a prestigious university, and we have discovered that this kind of tackling them by the shoulders is better than hitting them low. Yeah. So you see this all the time, where basic stuff. Good musicians play scales. And that's just what you do.
I heard that throughout Cal Ripken's career, he would hit off a tee 100 times a day.
Wow.
For each game, right?
Wow.
Right? Like you did when you were in the 3rd grade for your first time.
Yes.
Getting your stroke down.
Yeah.
Every day. Yeah. I mean,
sure.
Yeah.
That's what you do. You drill. You do the basics.
I mean,
right.
Right. You don't think professional musicians play scales?
Yeah, and or professional swimmers. You got who's the guy from around here?
Phelps.
Yeah. You think he doesn't do drills? You think he doesn't have basic things that he goes over again and again and again and again? Of course you do.
I think there's a certain amount of what would I say? PhDs wanting to make a mark of some kind. You know what I mean? It's like everybody wants to be on the cutting edge of the new thing. Well, look, this isn't painting where you go from impressionism to cubism to what I mean. Because we're just trying to learn. We're just trying to get the kids to learn. Not me in the new school of reading from Harvard. Yeah, making a new stance on
that is a problem.
Something going on there.
I think part of the problem there is just that we have too many academics.
Yeah,
and when you have too many academics, every one of them is trying to find some niche, some new thing. How can I question the way we do this, that, or the other thing? Yes. And there's a certain amount of that's good. You should
pushing the boundaries, finding things that are new.
Yes. But when there's too much of it,
and there's no humility in it.
Yes. And when there's too much of it, and when there's a bias towards the new and the innovative, and not necessarily the things that work, but there's this new theory. Yeah. Here's the new theory from these really smart people at this university. Well, okay, it has to work in the real world. And that's what was lacking with this whole language and new math and everything else.
I agree. So I would say sometimes we struggle to end things on a positive note, but I think this is an easy one.
It's an easy one. It's fantastic.
It's like, congratulations, Mississippi. Mississippi's sitting at the bottom of all these ranking lists.
Yes.
May be inspiring other state school systems around the country and leading the way.
Do you want me to put a dark cloud on it?
All right, but I might have to come back with it.
You will. Yeah, you still have to come back with an upside. Okay, here's the dark cloud. Fantastic job, Mississippi. You've taught people to read right at the time when nobody's reading anymore. They're just watching TikTok videos.
Yes. Yes, but dang on it, you third graders, you're going to repeat it if you don't get it right.
Get it right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks so much for listening to Beer and Conversation with Pigweed and Crowhill. Remember to visit us at pigweedandcrowhill.com or send us an email at pigweedshow@gmail.com.